Y'all, I'm going to be honest with y'all. The socialists in New York got played more than I've ever seen them get played in my life. Mamdani is at it again. I swear to you, this man has created the land speed record from going from raging socialist to full-on capitalist, cutting regulations, cutting restrictions, cutting fines, fees, businesses, This is going to make your jaw drop. And I cannot wait to watch the fallout from this one on the left. Everything will be linked in the description box below. Cannot wait to hear what you guys think. Of course, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on. It's Friday. You deserve a quick intro, so let's get right into it. Listen, y'all are fully aware of the socialist wonder kid Zohran Mamdani. You know, socialism's the new vibe in America, except it's not. But other than that, in New York, it's all the rage. Well, we've covered a few things. I've shown you how they're going to come up with this money magically. And, you know, Kathy Hochul has said that's not happening from any type of tax raises. So that's kind of a black road to go down. You can't do that one. Then on the other side, they're now talking about private equity. Y'all, you can't make this stuff up. This is going to be amazing. Make sure you send this out because the notifications are not going out. So just please do that. Check this out, guys. Socialist turned capitalist in about 3 days when reality struck real hard. Watch this.
There's a lot of things that make New York City special. For me, it's the delis and bodegas. Habibi, could I get an egg and cheese on a roll with jalapeno?
One Zoran special coming up.
Small businesses employ nearly half of all New Yorkers in the private sector. They keep the city running. But the last 4 years have been hard. We've seen the dollar slice go extinct, storefront after storefront close, and had a mayor in Eric Adams who has ignored the struggles of small businesses. That's why as mayor, I'm gonna make it faster, easier, and cheaper for small businesses to get started and stay open. First, we're...
Hold the phone. Oh, whoa. Wait a minute. That to me sounds like a handout to business. I mean, that sounds like it's not very workers' party. That sounds very much capitalist. You're going to make it faster, easier, and quicker to open businesses and keep businesses open? I thought the employers were the ones keeping the workers down. How could you give tax cuts to the rich? Huh. The bourgeoisie and the proletariat little vibe he was rocking in the campaign sure seemed to fall flat, didn't it? Again, when reality comes knocking, socialists either go extinct or they turn into capitalist. Oh, I got more. Watch. Listen to the plan. This sounds like a Republican ad. Watch this.
We're going to cut fines and fees for small businesses by 50%. Regulations are important, but small businesses have to navigate more than 6,000 of them, with far fewer resources than the big chains. That's why as mayor, I'll appoint a mom and pop czar with the clear goal of making it easier to run a small business. $1,000 isn't a lot to our city government, but it can be make or break for a small business trying to get off the ground. Next, we're going to accelerate permits and applications. The mom and pop czar will coordinate with agencies to speed up turnaround times.
Okay, by the way, that wasn't my editing. That was actually them. So they sped through him saying they're going to reduce fines, permitting fees, and license fees. And then they're going to cut overall tax. They're going to cut startup costs and all of that by 50%. Y'all, this is the tax cut for businesses. And they're couching it from the standpoint of they don't have the resources like big businesses do, so the government's going to give them handouts. Okay, here's a quick question, and we're just going to have some fun with this really quickly for everybody in the back. How are you going to make all the stuff that you've promised free in New York City? You're going to not be able to raise taxes on anybody, because that's a state function, not a mayoral function. You're going to cut fees and fines to small businesses. So you're cutting revenue, but then you're also going to be increasing spending. How are you going to do this? It's impossible. This guy is full on adopting a capitalist model. And I'm about to show you how he's going after private equity and private funding from the proletariat, the workers, the people who got played by this guy. He's not even in mayorship yet. All right, maybe I'm just making this up. I'm not. Let's keep going.
Cut red tape and let New Yorkers start businesses sooner. Because you shouldn't have to fill out 24 forms and go through 7 agencies to start a barbershop. But most of all, we're putting our money where our mouth is by increasing funding for small business support programs with 500%. We're going to invest $20 million in our Business Express service teams, which pair small businesses with a city case manager that helps them navigate permits and regulations, as well as connecting them with programs that provide them with financial and legal assistance. Right now, only 3% of businesses are using these programs. We want that number to skyrocket. The only thing more New York than an egg and cheese are the small businesses that make them. Together, we can not only protect them, but encourage new ones to make a home in our city.
Okay, so you're going to have businesses be supported by mom and pop czars inside your mayoral cabinet. You're going to increase all this funding and spending for the businesses in order to what? Have the money trickle down to the poor? You see how they just got screwed? Because this whole game of everything's going to be free and all the taxes are going to be everything, but you're going to put money into the businesses who employ the workers, of which you told everybody everything was going to be free. Where's all this money coming from? Is it just magically raining from the sky? Oh, we're going to get to that in 1 second. Watch this. Guys, again, I've never seen a turn as fast as this. Here's another example. We covered this in the live stream last night. Mom Donnie going to meet with Trump because they're besties now. Watch this.
My administration would be Donald Trump's worst nightmare. I have many disagreements with the president, and I believe that we should be relentless and pursue all avenues and all meetings that could make our city affordable for every single New Yorker. I intend to make it clear to President Trump that I will work with him on any agenda that benefits New Yorkers.
My goodness, lefties, your whole resist the regime, fist in the air of Workers' Party Unite's really falling apart. You're going from cutting regulations, cutting permitting, cutting fees, money going into businesses to fund businesses for the trickle down. You just turned into a capitalist. And now you're going to partner with Trump because he was evil and he was going to be a nightmare, but now you're besties. And then you've got this little one. Listen, he's going private equity. Watch this.
And the other one, you're talking about fast and free buses and you're meeting with the governor. I've heard you talk about many times that you don't want to take money away from the MTA. You want to put money back in. It's something that she agrees with, right? We don't want to take away money from the MTA. How are you getting that money, the $700 million to make the buses free, into the MTA if she's not for raising taxes?
You know, I think that the two clearest ways to raise that money is through the raising of the state's corporate tax to match that of New Jersey. I think that a lot of this is still a case to be made, whether it's the corporate tax or whether it's the personal income tax on those who make more than $1 million a year or more. I think that these are the clearest ways. I've also said that if there are other ways to raise this funding, the most important fact is that we fund it, not the question of how we do it, but that we do it.
I want to highlight that very quickly. The most important fact is that we fund it, not the question of how we do it. That, my friends, is a private equity play. This guy is a capitalist, he is a socialist who's leaning into the far left socialist progressive agenda and then adopting capitalist policies. How do you think that's going to go with the far left socialist, proletariat, bourgeoisie, class struggle, socialist workers party unite kind of vibe? How do you think that's going to go? It's going to go over like a lead balloon. And oh, by the way, just to add a little bit of insult to injury, here's what he just said 2 days ago about wanting not $1 million from the underclass of New York City. He now wants $4 million. What? This guy is turning into a capitalist grifter. Watch this.
It's been 2 weeks since we won the election. We've been pretty busy.
Rejects the Democratic Socialist Zoran Mamdani.
Too often, this is a time of just celebration as opposed to preparation. We want to make it both. A lot of these things are new, but one of them is pretty old. Fundraising. But why are we fundraising? Well, we have less than 50 days until we take office, and we have a lot to do. We have to vet the 50,000 resumes we've received. Thank you. We have to keep paying our incredible team. Thank you. And we have to plan not just our inauguration, but our policy implementation. Now, unlike the campaign, transitions do not get public matching funds from the city. So that 8-to-1 match, gone. It's up to us to raise the money. Usually campaigns take that as an opportunity to rely on wealthy donors, but that's not us. You've already been incredible. We've raised more than $1 million in just 2 weeks. Our average donation is around $77, and more than 12,000 of you have donated so far, which is much lower than the last administration's transition. But we're still asking for your help because we need to raise $4 million in total, so January 1st can be the day we start to deliver, not start to prepare. I hope very soon not to have to ask you for money, but until then, I'm asking for you to go to Transition 2025.
Y'all, they got played. They got played so hard and so fast, and the shift has happened so quickly that if you did not tell me that Zoran Mamdani was a socialist, and he didn't call himself a democratic socialist, I genuinely would think from what he is, I just showed you, I would genuinely think he's a leftist Democrat who is leaning into capitalism. That's what I would think. Y'all, this is about to get fun. Grab your popcorn, and I'll see you guys on the next one.